down with Tracy the Contortionist, who just did that amazing performance. Tracy, how in the world do you do that?
Practice about 3 hours a day.
Wow. Were you born with any special sort of adaptation that made you be able to do, like, stretch like that? No?
When I was a child, I always had a loose back, so maybe that's why I'm prone to back flexibility, but nope.
Wow. And how do people normally react to your performance? Do they find it shocking, or?
Yeah, you get an array of reactions. You have the happy kind and the scared kind. I find that a lot of people are more scared for me than anything.
Yeah. We're here with another costumer and vendor who has a very interesting color scheme. Can you tell me about your costume?
Well, it's actually centered around this hat. This is a duplicate of a very tiny hat I made, and everyone very, very much liked it. I was a fan of it. Mm-hmm. And this is actually compiled from the old costume. I took a couple of bits out. These are both skirts that I got from Goodwill. This is, I ordered online from Etsy from LaBelle Fairy. I absolutely love her stuff. Mm-hmm. This is another Goodwill find. These used to be socks that I cut up and did the stitching and all of this. Mm-hmm. And actually that's pretty much it except for the hat. And the hat I made myself.
That's great. When you were thinking about the costume and trying to compile it, did you do any preliminary sketches to come up with colors, or did it just kind of all fall together?
I'm more of someone who looks at the fabrics and just throws everything at the dollies and just dresses my dress dummy. And I'm a thing for ribbons. So I actually tried to match all of the ribbons to the hats. Mm-hmm. Like, it's more centered around the ribbons than it is the fabric, which is really, really backwards. I'm a stickler for color. So I really wanted most of it to match the hat. This is actually a bit darker than the original I had, which was more paler. As you can see, a lot of centered around the pale. Right. So it started with this matching the other hat, and then the rest of it came together.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Do you want to tell our viewers what it's like wearing a corset like that? That's an asymmetrical corset. How is that different than other corsets?
Really, really uncomfortable if you try to bend over in it. Yes, it has a little bit of a crook to it. When she had made it, it was made from one of the original designs from the 1800s. Mm-hmm. So it's a very, very tight weave and tight design. So it's made for someone a lot smaller. Like, I fit into it just barely. Mm-hmm. Just don't sneeze or bend over.
Right. Would you give any advice to someone who is trying to make their own steampunk outfit for the first time, where they should start, what they should look for?
Try not to spend too much money on your first go. Go for more comfortable. You enjoy yourself a lot more. You don't sweat a lot. And you save a lot on the materials. Thrift storing. Thrift store is a gold mine to find anything steampunk. You will be surprised at what you'd actually find.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Winterman, and this is my booth Hatitude. I make everything from tiny little itsy bitsy hats like this to gigantor full-size hats like so. Most of my stuff is multicultural, so it's not just Victoriana, European. I have a lot of African, Asian, and Native American influences in my work. So.
Yeah, you look fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about your outfit, actually?
Well, I did this. This is all handmade, and it's based on the Dahomey warriors of Benin, who actually during the late 1800s fought the French as they were trying to invade, and out of 4 battles, 3 times they actually repelled them, and in the 4th, unfortunately, they lost. But you can see the influence of female warriors in Muammar Gaddafi's bodyguards, who are all female, and that's where he gets the idea from. They were chosen as young girls and then brought into the house of the monarch and trained as his warrior group.
I hear that you have a special project involving New York coming up?
Yes. I'm a New York steampunk. I actually live in Orange County, New York, in a little place called Florida, New York, I know. But last year I went to the Mermaid Parade in Brooklyn, in Coney Island, and there was only one steampunk mermaid. And when I think of steampunk and I think Mermaid Parade, I think Nautilus. So a bunch of us are trying to get together and raise money to create a Nautilus float for next year's Mermaid Parade in June, where we'll have actual walkers who are dressed not only as mermaids, but as pirates, bathing suits, crew, staff, and we actually have a Captain Nemo, who's a woman. Her name is Elsa, and it's going to be an all-female crew, and it's going to be modular, so we can bring it to conventions and other places to promote steampunk unity. So it's not just airship this one, or New York or Connecticut steampunk. It's steampunk unity, where we all get together and we all show how proud we are to just be steampunks.
Well, I think that your costumes are all super interested, so I would love to start with you. Would you tell me about your outfit, what inspired it, how you made it, all of that?
I'm a firm believer in Salvation Steam, which is you hunt and look at Salvation armies and see what you find. And I was lucky enough to find this Egyptian-esque sort of outfit, and I just pieced together things here and there, and then because it's Victorian, you put a bustle on it.
Of course. What advice would you give someone who is making a steampunk costume for the first time?
Don't take yourself too seriously and have fun.
That's awesome. And let's see, did you make any of your props, or did you find any special props?
Well, my husband modified a Nerf gun for me. So one Nerf gun modified with plastic paint.
That's great. Have you fired it at anyone yet?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, that's a good answer. All right, well, thank you very much. I think we will move on to you next. All right. So, you have a great color scheme. I love it.
Thank you very much.
So, can you tell us about the different components about your costume?
Well, I again came with the first person interviewed and do believe in the secondhand shop steampunk, what you can find, or what is 30 years old in your closet because you stopped wearing it.
Right.
So the hat is new. I was at a fair. And I bought the hat and went, I have to make something around the hat. So I just dug around to find everything pretty much, except I made the goggles, which are my first pair of goggles, which are actually a gift. But then some of the things I've had friends make me for different other purposes. My gun, I had fun painting, but it's not quite take-outable. I have to have it hooked so it won't fall out. But I just really love doing the actual detailing on it at all. I haven't done painting in a long time, and that brought me back to some painting that I love doing. So.
Yeah. I absolutely love your jewelry. Now, is that stuff that you had lying around the house?
Most of it, except I was able to find this at Target for very little money. So if it's not at the secondhand store, check Target. They have various things. You have to just go to the inexpensive shops.
Right. That's very good to know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And last but not least, will you please tell us about your outfit?
This is mostly from things that I had on hand. I was involved in carriage driving for a number of years, and so the hat is actually from carriage driving, and the boots as well. The coat I've had for a number of years, and I thought it fit the theme well. And I found the shot glass bandolier on eBay, and this has been a big hit. And I also purchased the goggles on eBay. And
what about the bustier?
oh, the bustier. We also have all met through medieval recreation. We're in the Society for Creative Anachronism, and this was one of my early pieces, and so it's kind of a little St. Polly girl-esque, but I thought it was kind of fun to pull out for this because I've seen some other bustiers on the steampunk photographs that I found.